Hello, my name's Tim. Welcome to Tim Burbage Reads, and today I'm going to be talking to you about what I read in June. So this is a little bit out of date. Oops. Just real life happened. But I read 7 books in June for a total of 2,374 pages, and my average rating was 3.4, so it wasn't a great reading month, and there is one DNF in here as well. So, first things first, I read Revived by Barbara Avon. This is a self-published book. The author sent me a free copy for my review. You can find a review on my channel. Overall, I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was well written. The prose was good quality. The story itself was looking at a fairly interesting topic. I thought it would be horror, and it was more psychological thriller. It was a novella. It was over 100 pages, and it felt like a short story with extra bits added rather than a full novella, full story. But yeah, still enjoyed it. Next, I read The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This I gave 4 stars to. This is the first in a trilogy, a fantasy trilogy set in China with the serial numbers rubbed off. It's looking at the Chinese, Japanese wars, but, you know, fictionalized and fantasized. There's gods, there's magic, things like that. I enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 stars. I did enjoy this book. I want to read the next one. I'm more intrigued because it went in lots of different places that I wasn't expecting, rather than being blown away by the quality of it. I've got a video discussion with Charlie from Charlie Read a Book, or Charlie Read a Book. I really enjoyed doing that chat with Charlie. I think we had similar thoughts, and it was a good book to talk about because it wasn't just, hey, I really liked it, or hey, I really didn't. Things were a bit more nuanced and complicated. The next was a book I read to my son, which was Which Way to Anywhere by Cressida Cowell. This I gave 4 stars to, but it was like 4.5, almost 5. For the first half of this book, it was 5 stars. This is so good. It's about these 2 sets of siblings that become step-siblings, and they do not get on at all. One of them is one pair are from a family of witches and weirdos and magic, and the others are very ordinary, full of, teachers and normal life, and they live in this haunted house. And then one of them finds that they have a gift to create, they can write a map, and that map is a made-up map, and that map ends up being a real world. And if they draw X on the map, they can then travel through that X into that real world. So they can travel the stars, basically. And there's bounty hunters, there's man-eating plants, there's robots, there's magic, there's witches, there's monsters. There's art in the book. The story is written in a really interesting way with an interesting narrator. It was so good. I really enjoyed it. But it's way too long. It's like almost 500 pages. It took me 2 months to read to my son. It has it ends like 3 times. It's just too many ideas. And it ended up, it just took ages. It took too long to read. So that's what brought it down to a 4, but it's a 5-star book. It just took too long. So I really enjoyed that. Then I read a kid's book for me, which was The Wolf Trials by Kieran Millward Hargrave. This is a prequel to her Geomancer trilogy. This follows one of the characters doing something involving trials with a wolf. And I really enjoyed it. Oh, it was a gut punch at the end. And this was a book that the author did for World Book Day. So it was only £1. And it was about 80 pages or so. But it was still very much a full story. Lots happened in it. Then I got my DNF, which was Kidnapped by Robert Louis Stevenson. I've got a video about that, explaining that I'm now giving up on Robert Louis Stevenson. I've tried to read 3 of his books. One of them, Treasure Island, I thought the story's great, I just didn't enjoy reading it. The next was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which I really didn't like as a book, and then this one I couldn't even finish. So I read about 60 pages, and I just didn't want to read it. And when I did read it, I read like 5 pages and put it down. He just got kidnapped, but I didn't care. It did have another Ebenezer in it, though. The only other time I've read the name Ebenezer outside of A Christmas Carol. So, and that man was also not very nice and quite miserly. So, you know, maybe we need to bring Ebenezer back. The next was another book I read. I started reading to both my kids. My daughter didn't like it, so I ended up finishing reading it just to my son, and that is Space Band by Tom Fletcher. This is a real missed opportunity, I think, because it has music in it where you scan a QR code and it plays the songs. And it's about these group of kids who get abducted by aliens and sent to an intergalactic song contest. The music is done by McFly. You know, it's Tom Fletcher. It should be brilliant. And my kids were really excited about it. To start with, the book is framed as written by the lead singer of the band. And it's his songs that he's writing. It's his songbook. So you only get his songs. You don't get any songs from any of the aliens. You just get descriptions of them. And I'm like, why? There's 8 songs in the book, and I think you get the first 6 in the first 50 pages of the book. You know, it's crammed full of songs at the start, and then it just goes into a story, and then there's a song at the end, basically. And yeah, a real missed opportunity. Again, the book does drag at points. There's chapters where they're meant to be fun, but the kids didn't really get the fun because they were like, I just want to know about the song contest. There were some reveals at the end, which were surprising and interesting and good. I enjoyed them. My son really liked it. My son was much more into my daughter. My daughter just didn't care for it. So I gave that 3 stars. I think it's the worst Tom Fletcher book that we've read. And the story itself was fine. It was just such a missed opportunity with the songs. Imagine having a song contest and having songs, but none of the songs are from the song contest. What a missed opportunity. And then the last book I finished was for my Disney Reading Challenge, and it was A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. This I gave 4 stars to. I've got a review on the channel as well for that, and I enjoyed this one. What an opening. You know, the most famous opening of any book, I would say. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times, and so on and so forth. You could say that for quite a lot of this book. There's, you know, it's Dickens. It's very wordy. I did enjoy it, though. It wasn't my... Is it my favourite Dickens book? Ooh, I don't know. But I found going between London and Paris, the more interesting parts of the story in the first half were in London, and the most interesting parts of the story in the second half were in Paris, but we kept going between the two. And I don't know, I would have liked a little bit of streamlining. And there was one big twist at the end, which kind of came out of nowhere for me. It was set up from a plot perspective, but from a character perspective, I would have little inkling on why that character would do that. But yeah, overall, enjoyed it. So 4 stars. So my only 5-star book was The Wolf Trials. And so that's my book of the month. And the worst book I read, or the book I enjoyed the least, I should say, is Kidnapped. So let me know what you read in June. I know it's very late. Let me know in the comments below. Give this video a like, really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Now, get out of my house!